Well, hey friends, good morning. Welcome back to Watavue Mountain. Another great morning here. A little foggy, a little overcast. I'll try to keep the lens from fogging up. But as promised, we're going to talk about the camper today. So grab you something to drink. It's nice and early here. So we're going to have a little bit of coffee. If it's late for you, grab something else. But thanks for coming back. If it's your first time here, thanks for checking us out. We try to post every week, keep you updated on what we're doing up here at the mountain, as well as what we're doing back home in suburbia to help prepare us for a big permanent log cabin off the grid, potentially up here at Watavue Mountain. So stick around, get comfortable. Let's talk about this camper. Okay, so this is the StarCraft XP 21RB. It's a 2006. We picked it up on Facebook Marketplace, which was not an easy task. We had looked for probably 6 months for campers. Less than $5,000 was our goal. We picked up this beauty for right at $2,000. But literally, I probably contacted 20 or 25 people in order to make an offer on their campers within a couple hours of them posting it, and they had already had multiple offers before I could get to them. We got lucky with this one. Like I said, about 20 minutes after it posted, I reached out to the lady and told her, hey, we'll be there. It'll take us an hour to drive there. We can come right now. We can come whenever it's convenient for you. And we drove down early the next morning, and we got it for $2,000. So let's talk about the camper itself. It's a hybrid camper. So as you can see right here behind me, this panel folds down, and you'll see it once we get to the other side. This folds down to create the RB, the rear bunks. There's one on each side, and they're canvas, and we'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to the other side. Of course, we have our standard power cord in the back, 30 amp power cord. As you can see here, we are boondocking. We are absolutely 100% boondocking, off the grid boondocking. So anything that goes into the gray or black tanks, we have to take out. So we don't have septic up here yet, so we use this big tote. We're going to fill this bad boy up and take it home with us today. And then we also have a generator that you can't hear or see right now because it's turned off, that supplies our power. So the refrigerator, the air conditioner, the water pump, anything else, any of the other luxuries that we have can run off that generator. So as we move forward, here's our water heater. So inside here is a standard old school, I think it's a Johnson water heater. We just light it with a big long lighter, and it's got a 6-gallon tank, so it's plenty for us to take a quick shower, which you'll see why it's got to be so quick in a minute, because it's a super tiny shower. Also, we only have a 25-gallon gray water holding tank, so we don't want to fill that up every time we come up here. But makes plenty hot water, a great feature to have as compared to when we were tent camping. And then of course, here's our inputs for our water. So we have a 35-gallon holding tank for fresh water, so that we can just take a shower, wash dishes, brush our teeth, flush the toilet, do all that stuff. Plenty of windows. The light inside is usually pretty good. Not so much today because it's overcast, but let's walk around the front. We'll keep taking a tour of the entire camper. Okay, so up front here we have two 20-pound propane tanks that run the water heater. The refrigerator is both propane and electric, so it can decide for itself which one it wants to do. And then also there's a heater on the inside, so when it gets cool at night we can kick that heater on. It also runs off of propane. And then in this little case is our AGM sealed battery. Eventually maybe we might throw some solar panels on this, but right now the generator recharges the battery if it gets low while we're gone. So just standard simple setup right here. All right, so up front here we have storage. This is all the way through storage. So that's where we put the holding poles for the fold outs. Whatever other long stuff we need goes in there. We have more storage here. We have some extra hoses, all of our stuff to keep the pests away, because again, we are in the woods, so there are going to be pests. You see I have some 7 dust here that I sprinkled all over the place, threw it underneath the camper to help try to keep ants and other pests and bugs out. We have the canopy here. As you can see, part of the reason it was so cheap, there were some minor imperfections, right? One is the canopy, these supporting brackets are broken off, but it seems to do fine right now without it. We'll look at that. We had to replace an anode rod in the hot water heater, change out some light bulbs, some minor electrical work on the inside, but nothing major overall. As you can see, our entrance here, we'll talk about that. We'll go in there in a minute and check that out. But as you can see here, this is how that canvas pops out. So it's got some supports underneath here that just go into some nice heavy metal supports right on the side of the camper. These fold out, they're real easy. It takes literally a minute to fold these out. And even in the summer, when it was warmer, just a couple weeks ago, when it was hot here, these still held the air conditioning in pretty well. Probably not as well as when it's closed, but good enough that we weren't sweating to death while we were here. So here's our little setup. We got our little awning. It helps protect this. It helps protect our chairs. Got our little spools as tables, and we're looking right out the beautiful view that we created. So let's walk inside and take a look around. All right, let's walk on inside and see what this place looks like. So first things first, you can see here, that's supposed to be where the kitchen goes, but we've converted it into a bed area because we like it better up here. It's a little more comfortable, it's not as closed in. So right over here to our immediate right, come in the front door, there's bench seats underneath here. However, we don't use it as that, we use it as a bed, as you can see, because the little canvas things get pretty tight. So we converted this area over here into our bed area. We got a little storage underneath for our water. As you can see here to our left, we got a couple small little sinks, just enough for us to be able to do some dishes and do what we got to do. Our coffee pot, underneath that coffee pot, I forgot about that, we have a 3-burner propane stove. So if we want to cook anything inside, we can cook stuff inside as well. Lots of storage underneath. We hadn't even filled it all up yet. So storage there. Of course, the radio, more storage up top. And then on this side, this is getting real tight. That's our refrigerator. It's just a, I don't know how many square feet that is, but it's a little one. But it's enough for us while we're here. We'll stay for a few days or a week. More storage. And then here we had to convert this closet. It was really just these doors open here, so we just had to hang a curtain rod up on top so we could hang some clothes, and then more storage down below for stuff that we want to keep inside and stay dry. Then as you see here, it's hard to appreciate, but that's almost a twin size fold out. Plenty of space for 2 people actually. But as you can tell, it's a little closed in, so not terrible. And then of course, more storage underneath. All right, there you see, we have a little tiny bathroom. We got a toilet, we got a sink, little mirror. We built these little shelves just to give us a little extra storage space back there. Now let's walk and see if we can take a look at this shower. I don't know if you're gonna be able to, this camera's not gonna be able to see that, but there's the shower. So little skylight to give you a little extra light while you're in there. Little shower head. Now I'm not a huge guy, I'm just 6'1", but there's not enough space for me to stand straight up in that shower. So that's part of the reason we take a quick shower. Our little control panel there, yep, you see the thermostat there is taken apart right now because that heater kicks on when it gets cold. Even when it's set at 50, it'll just kick on. And then beside it is how we measure our tanks to make sure they're full or empty or whatever. And then this side, as you can see, is where that closed side is that we started at. And that still leaves a little bit of storage there. We got some medical supplies, some extra tarps, whatever we need, all hanging out in there. So that's it. That's our sweet little setup. It's 1,000 times better than the tent. So there you go. Pretty simple, quick, short little video. Just a serious upgrade from when we were tent camping. Great bargain. Like I said, $2,000. I know it's different in different areas. I hear some YouTubers talk about Craigslist. some local yard sales, just whatever works in your area. In our area, Craigslist just seems to be advertisements and a bunch of junks and scams, so we don't usually use Craigslist too much, but Facebook Marketplace seems to be what works for us the best here. So that's why we went with Facebook Marketplace. And there are plenty of folks, you can do this living in a tent. However, we're in Alabama. When it's hot during the summer, it's really hot, it's sticky, and we just weren't comfortable at night. So we'd work all day, sweat our butts off, go lay down, it's still hot outside, you're still sweating trying to sleep, it just wasn't working for us. So that's part of the reason we upgraded to the camper. Just small little luxuries like running water and having a toilet. Now, yep, there's extra work that comes along with that. We're going to have to empty out those tanks here today, take that back home and dump it. But for us, the juice is worth the squeeze. Same thing maintenance wise, we just replaced the light bulbs in there. We bought some LED bright light, whatever they are, super bright LED light bulbs. They were pretty cheap. I think I got 9 for 15 bucks or something, and it really makes it a lot brighter in there than it used to be. Same thing with bug control. We put the 7 stuff down, we spray on the inside, we bombed it. It's a continuous process, but again, if you're going to live in the woods, you're going to have to work on your pest control, because it's just going to happen. We don't leave anything in there that's opened that bugs are going to be attracted to. Only stuff that's closed. So, you okay?
Yeah, there's a bee in here.
See? There's a bee in there. So, the bee's gone. So yeah, so just some maintenance comes along with it, but it's really worth it. So if you have this kind of idea in mind, you're not going to start building your house right away. You're like us. We're an hour and a half from suburbia to get here to Watavue Mountain, so it's not a quick trip over to the land, do some work, quick trip back to the house. We have to stay. We come up, we just plan on staying. So for us, it was worth it. So consider it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. As always, thanks again for checking us out. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button over there. We're trying to put out content every week. It's an absolute blessing for us to be able to do this, to do stuff like this, to purchase this camper, to be up here on this property working, to be out here in God's country, and to be able to share our journey with you as we progress from suburbia and make improvements there up here to Watavue Mountain. So thanks again for hanging along with us on our journey. We sincerely appreciate it. And then, as always, be safe. We'll see you next time.